player that someone like this who pushed you the full distance in the past becomes so much easier for you to get past this time around. We're about to find out as we are hopping into game 1 on the Fortress of Lions.
And my question was, is BalloonBoy going to bring in the Mega Man in game 1, or is he going to lead, of course, with the Zariel that we've seen him play as well? I think it's mostly going to be that Mega Man, of course. He might get pushed all the way to the brink to lock in that Zariel, but of course, we love to see the Mega Man. One of the few Blasters players out there. I always got to shout him out for that. His dedication to the weapon, and of course, playing an amazing set of boots as well.
Yeah, I mean, BalloonBoy's so good that he single-handedly has gotten this character nerfed, right?
Yep.
Like, you can't, you know, kind of jockey around that. It's just as clear as it is. But does it matter? Does it matter, Sparky? Look how easily he was able to get that first stock. The answer to my question I was asking earlier, the answer may be yes if he keeps this tempo up.
Yeah, it's great so far. He is going to be going up against Ryze's Fate, which is a very scary legend. PJ and I talk about like high strength orb and really strong orb legends all the time because he's a big orb guy. He always talks about Fate, and of course he always talks about Petra as well. Fate is such a scary legend. We know how well Ryze can pilot this, but you got to worry about the tornado, man. You're not Bill Paxton. You're not going to be able to be in the pickup truck in the middle of that F5 tornado, brother. You got to stay away from it.
Yeah, and you can see BalloonBoy has already represented that tornado multiple times in the corner, right? Says, I will slide charge this down sig if you don't get off that corner. And look at the way he's cooking. He says, if you fastball at a disadvantage here, you're getting burnt by the sword, bro. So now Ryze has all these different things to think about in this advantage, and BalloonBoy's like, I'm going to hold it, and I did it to the right, so I get to back up as well.
So one thing we were seeing from BalloonBoy before in like previous royales and stuff is he would hit that side air and then not chase after, and then he would immediately do a side signature. He usually does that more at low damage when it's not time to KO, then just in case they end up like dodging back in. They're not able to get through it, so they can't punish him for that side signature, but that's really the only way that he used that side signature, and I love to see that. But he's sort of stepped away from that. I think people are mostly seeing that coming, so we'll see if that kind of plays into effect here whatsoever.
Ooh, oh, nice use of the down air there from Ryze. Yeah, just simple geometry is all it took to go ahead and finally secure that first stock of BalloonBoy. But at this point, BalloonBoy has all the momentum. Look how easily he's able to cut through the neutral game. Ryze? Oh, what a weapon toss from BalloonBoy, too. Back-to-back amazing weapon tosses, one from Ryze and one from BalloonBoy. We might have to start calling him Wise the way he's playing right now. Oh, the way that he got that thinking cap on that Fate might just be the way. There we go. High strength orb playing into effect here, getting that side light sayer, forcing BalloonBoy into the corner. But BalloonBoy is looking to see if he can maybe tack on one more extra bit of damage before fishing for that D-Light recovery knockout.
Nice side light. BalloonBoy, of course, jumping up in case Ryze wants to go high after that. He's just sort of probing with that side light, seeing what he can get afterwards in terms of a reaction rather than a read. Another down air. Nice. Beautiful. He even went down a little bit for that GCD light just in case Ryze wanted to stay down on the ground rather than go aerially. He expected Ryze to go back down to sort of get that grounded dodge cooldown and potentially then reset his jumps before going back up. So that's why he made that little move down rather than reading the like instant jump or instant like staying at the altitude he was previously. So fantastic acknowledgement from BalloonBoy, really having a handle on the way Ryze is playing.
Yeah, one of the scariest things about BalloonBoy as a Blasters player is that he uses the base kit of Blasters so well that like you don't even get to start thinking about the signatures that Mega Man has, right? Like it's like, oh man, he's getting me with D-Light Sayers, D-Light recoveries, that when it comes to a really dicey scenario, if BalloonBoy wants to go for a VVN sig, you're gonna be like, oh man, I forgot you even had that.
I do love how iconic BalloonBoy is as like the only player out there for this legend that we don't even really talk about VV anymore. We essentially talk about this legend as though it's Mega Man, as though Mega Man was released as the legend and not just a skin.
I mean, part of it is they just did such a good job, man, and they made me a believer. Oh, beautiful.
There's side sig. That's the first time we've seen that so far, and this is the first time we've seen Ryze swap over onto this Taros in this set. He didn't feel like the Fate was going to get it done. He made the swap early, the Flame Sword. You're not really going to KO with that. It's really just like, I'm going to throw this out there. It's really tough to punish. The recovery is going to be the KO off the top on the Demon Island, and first stock goes to BalloonBoy.
Yeah, BalloonBoy making it look simple. Ryze trying to figure out how to get some semblance of footing here, but BalloonBoy's movement is too crispy. Huge opportunity. Ryze recognizing if he got that side air, had a very good shot of securing that edge guard, but BalloonBoy with even better defense.
So Ryze is going to have to find a way to play with the range that he has with Axe and find a way into those dead zones. Oh
my
no,
God.
The down air into the down air GC inlight. Love that option. Another down air as well. Not quite high enough for that side air, but a neutral air. No attempt for a second neutral air into the recovery KO off off the top. Again, his gravity cancels are so good. As a Blasters player, you just have to have that mastery or you're leaving stuff on the table.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the way he's weaving in and out of these hitboxes.
Did you see sidelight too?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, this beautiful fadeaway Sair. He's putting on a clinic. He's showing you exactly how you need to play this weapon.
Nah, I mean, when you have it down, like when you got your opponent's movement on lock, Blasters is easily one of the most oppressive weapons in Brawlhalla because you just start getting pieced up. He's like, I can't get near him. Look at these side airs. Oh my God. Misses the true conversion there. But the damage, BalloonBoy showing no signs of slowing down.
Dude, he's got him. Honestly, right now, it's not over, but it certainly feels like it over. If I was in Ryze's place, even with all of Ryze's skill, I would be feeling the storm cloud over my head, the giant Reaper behind me, ready to take all of my stocks away. There's the D-Light into the gravity cancel neutral heavy, not enough to KO off the top on Demon Island. He snakes that weapon away too. The GC D-Light into the side air, and it is a 3-stock from BalloonBoy, and that was a Blasters game too. He did it with the boots in the previous game, but that was a Blasters game.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, what do you even say to that, right? A 3-stock, you've been figured out, you know? He saw the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle and he put it together in 2 seconds. Says, I know the Rubik's Cube algorithm. You can't get me with this anymore, right? And so it's like the adaptation that we need to see from Ryze is you got to dig deep in that pocket. A legend swap isn't going to cut it here, right? Especially if you're going to swap over to Teros and your name isn't kinda. BalloonBoy ain't scared.
Yep. Now, the biggest thing, if I'm BalloonBoy right now, even though the amazing spot that he's in, the biggest thing that I'm worried about, my biggest fear at that moment, is which developers happen to be watching that, because check the next balance patch, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we're gonna see a Blasters nerf after what we just saw there. We're seeing some of these replays here. BalloonBoy's ability to get in. There's the D-Light into the side air to end off. Obliteration is exactly correct. Thank you, video game. And we're going over to the Fortress of Lions.
And I get it, we gotta swap over to Fenrir Mordex, right? Gonna need a little bit of that BCX champion energy or something to go ahead and try to bring himself back into this game. But so far, BalloonBoy seeming to have just as easy of a time as he was in the previous game. Before we were saying the last time these two played, they went the distance, they went to game 5. BalloonBoy, we said, had ascended. Would the proof be in the pudding? Right now, it's looking like the answer is a resounding yes.
It seems like he's really feeling the Blasters, especially after last game. He has a handle on the movement and exactly what Ryze wants to do because he swapped over it immediately once that second weapon spawn came in from the grab off of the boots. There's the D-Light into the recovery. Not enough to KO, but it is enough to disarm. Swaps over to the boots, charges up that tornado. Not going to find a hit, but he didn't get punished for it. Ryze was a little bit too worried. He's in red.
Okay, beautiful Sig coming out there from Ryze. Goes for the ground pound. BalloonBoy gonna lose the stock here? No, held
another
on
one
to the recovery. And these beautiful weapon tosses out of the disadvantage have been the difference maker.
The exact same thing that we saw again. The weapon toss from Ryze and then the response weapon toss coming out from BalloonBoy. The call and response between these two to start and confirm that edge guard and to keep himself safe from the edge guard. I love that gameplay from both of them. There's the in-light. Okay, he does get the Sair. No Nair, Sair ladder, anything like that. He's at really high damage, so he's looking for the KO, not the damage. Again, another in-light, this time chase dodging and turning around that neutral air.
See here, can Ryze at least get this first stock? I mean, looking much better this time around, but then BalloonBoy, the way he's able to just hound after getting a hit, knowing that Ryze is going to dodge or do a defensive option and not wake up, and then he just continues to stay near him, find extra hits, and tack up the damage. But this time around, Ryze keeping things way closer, right? No 3-stock happening this game.
I swear, if I'm Ryze, it must feel like a World War II movie where all the planes are flying around in the air and there's just like airburst artillery going off. That's what it feels like when these blasters are going from BalloonBoy. You just have to find a way to maneuver through it, and it's going to be really tough. Okay, great punish on that turnaround downlight. I don't know if that meant to be a down air or what, because the downlight's not going to be the option there he's looking for. There's the side air from BalloonBoy. Ryze, you got to find your way back in. It's still 2 stocks apiece, so he's not really that far behind. If he can maybe grab this weapon now that he threw that one away. No, a little bit of unarmed damage. There's the recovery from the unarmed, the recovery from the gauntlets as well. See if he can lock this one in.
Hey, BalloonBoy.
Nice avoidance.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it again. It's so fast, it's so hard to get around, it's so hard to punish. And with the way that BalloonBoy is able to rack up damage as well, even though it's not really supposed to be necessarily a knockout tool, it will be.
Fantastic spacing on BalloonBoy to get away from that side signature, but Ryze finds his neutral signature and evens it up. Like, he's in a good spot here. He's a little bit behind in terms of damage, but he needs this final stock. He's already down 0-2. Gonna start off with the inlight. They both spot dodge at the exact same time, and Ryze is not able to find a follow-up, and BalloonBoy is able to find the weapon.
Yeah, I think Ryze needed to go for a gravity cancel there since his dodge was just a little bit later than BalloonBoy's to get that punish, but didn't execute in time, and now stuck in the corner, but the damage is fairly even here. BalloonBoy throwing out those neutral signatures, that flame sword to threaten the anti-air to kind of bait Ryze into going low, and now you see him going for those downlights in the corner. Ryze doing a great job of playing defense though.
I think in that moment, okay, there's a tornado, potentially setting up the edge guard here. There's the saw blade, but it feels like that was more of a celebration saw blade.
Sending a statement here. BalloonBoy trying to close out this set. Ryze trying to push on to a game 4. Oh, and the weapon throw is going to make it that much more difficult to get back into this game. BalloonBoy starving him out, throwing those blasters away and grabbing the boots. NSIG threat is on the table.
Oh, that one was enough to do it. I thought it was going to take one more major hit, but BalloonBoy does it over Ryze in a 3-0. Now, I think in that moment where we saw that gravity cancel from Ryze, or no, it wasn't a gravity cancel. We wanted it to be a gravity cancel after they spot dodged like right on top of each other. I feel like in that moment, he saw what BalloonBoy did, and then he was just in analysis paralysis.
Yes.
Because he was like, what do? Do I go for the GC inlight? Do I go for the GC